There we go. Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming The Lord of the Rings Online. And I totally messed something up in OBS, so let me fix the game. There we go. As soon as I clicked start streaming, everything got all screwed up in OBS with the windows, and then I had to find my transition to actually have the mic unmuted and the webcam showing, so off to a rough start. So hopefully the stream improves from that. And today, I am going to be doing Eastern Gondor on my Warden, continuing South Ithilien is the plan. And the stream title, as it says, is that I'm going to be going into Osgiliath. So I plan to start the Osgiliath questing, and that is pretty much where my plans are. And I do want to say hello to Ivan Stainer and Brandon Joyce, who are both here before the stream started. And I know I did have to delay the stream a little bit. That is one problem with me trying to schedule streams before, well, like early in the day before I get to when I know exactly when I will be starting. And today, unfortunately, it was only like a 10-minute delay. I thought it might actually be a lot later, but now I am ready and ready to go into Osgiliath, go into questing. And one thing also that I have to remember to do at some point at least is some missions, because it's a new day. That means there's new sets of missions and new dailies and all sorts of things like that. And I also want to point out that I mentioned I would be doing a video today, or at least would be trying to do a video today. Obviously that did not happen. It is something for me to remember in the future. On a day like today for me, that streaming would actually be easier than doing a video. Let's see, quests. I totally have to remember what I'm actually doing with the quest. So I have actually Into Osgiliath is the quest name. I did not even know that when I titled this stream. That is perfect. Might even do the Osgiliath Culverts quest. Into Osgiliath is way to the east, actually, the opposite side of the crossroads as Osgiliath is. That's kind of funny. Hello, Mark Leon. Alright, so to jump right into the questing, which probably is not a good idea because I will need to get a subscriber town services at least later on. The buffs, I still have almost 3 hours of the buff, and the item will last almost 3 hours, so I might actually wait for our usual, like midway through the midway point in the stream to actually do that. I also have a mini announcement, I guess, as an old thing will be returning tomorrow. And that is all I want to share right now. But I will do a stream tomorrow, at least I'm planning on doing a stream. I would hope that I am doing a stream, but anyway, an old thing will return tomorrow for that stream. And it should, hopefully, of course, be fun. Now, I'm sending all my stuff to my lore master. He's kind of become a temporary bank alt of sorts. And mainly, actually these bonus, yeah, I'll get these bonus character boosts to the lore master. That'll be good inventory cleaning. Wow, this character is up to 400 gold from basically doing nothing but questing. And hello, Rohan B and Awel as well. And yes, Ivan, that is the perfect name for a quest. I really wish I actually planned that. I don't know if I wish I planned that, because it is a nice coincidence that the name of the quest that I'm starting with is Into Osgiliath. Also, I am getting sudden memories of a certain Mumak that was a little bit difficult for me to defeat, but finally brought it down. And to continue with the rhyming AWell, I am doing well. There is Minas Morgul. I wonder if Minas Morgul, I guess it always looked like this. I know this is pre-battle, way before they actually added Minas Morgul to the game. But I wonder if it looks the same as the post-battle Minas Morgul. And hello, Patrick. You said you love my videos and streams. Glad you like them both. You were saying hello all the way from Croatia. Alright, so we get to start this stream. As far as the actual quest I'm doing is actually the Warband Gundrog here. I was able to kill this guy last time, defeat this Warband, so I don't expect too much trouble from it, just because I have successfully completed it once before, but still need to be careful and try not to die, basically. I want to get one more gambit after the Surety of Death if they don't keep stunning me. Probably don't even have time. I'll have to go back to ranged and do all my ranged stuff right now. Hopefully I will get Seize the Moment so I can heal a little bit better and go back to focusing on damage, but right now I just need to try to stay healed up. There we go, now I got Seize the Moment. Awell is also far away from Denmark. Brendan might be the closest person to where I live in Kansas. Green box of Eastern Gondorian spoils. So Patrick, you're wondering how long it takes to level from 1 to max, and that is, I would say, a long time. It really depends what you do. Ooh. This is too tempting. 2 arch nemeses. I wish I did not see these guys, because now I need to try to kill them. I would guess this fight I want to be in tank spec, but yeah, I need to try this. And Ivan, I live in the northern Midwest of the US, so a little bit north of Kansas. Relatively in the middle of nowhere. Don't know why I need to repair items. I guess I had repairs left over before I used my subscriber buffs. Okay, so just getting myself almost mentally prepared for this fight, I feel like. It's of course a fight I don't need to do, but I do feel the need to actually do it just because I came across these 2 trolls, and it's sure to offer me a decent challenge. Now the question is, can I even do much damage to them? They're level 104, which is an extra scary component on top of them being arch nemesis, of course, and there being 2 of them. So this might be an entirely impossible fight. That's actually what it's looking like. They're just doing too much damage to me, unfortunately. Might be able to do that in the yellow line, but I don't know if that is worth trying. Yeah, so as Razor Fist says, to get to max level if you use a Valor, then it takes only 2 days. Actually, I forgot about your question because those 2 trolls decided to distract me. I don't even think I put up a worthy attempt on them. It's like, compared to the Mumak that we had yesterday, I don't feel the need to continue trying just because of how bad that went. And Carper Jones, I do not use Reshade, so I do not have any settings to actually show on that. I know it's something that is, I guess, relatively popular. I don't honestly know how popular with the game, but something I do see come up, but I do not use that. I did use it at one point. Here, if we want something that's not even that difficult, but just something that's a little bit more difficult than a normal mob, to make me feel a little bit better after that horrible showing against the trolls. I'll get this Mumak here. Or attempt to get the Mumak should be a better way to put that. I'm guessing the Mumak is level 102, 103, something like that. They're yellow for their color. Maybe 103. I forget what exact level, how many levels above you bosses like this are. Oh, I don't even have Range Resounding Challenge on him. Also can hardly hear the game. Okay, I'm going to go in melee because I should be able to do, as long as I get a couple bleeds, that should be plenty too. Oh, did not mean to use the boot there. There we go. Wanted to use Wall of Steel. And I think what I triggered there is a very strong bleed, the quick sweep medium bleed. It's very RNG based, unfortunately, but when you actually get that bleed up, it's strong, and I was focusing too much on that bleed that I just got myself killed. We are, compared to the rough start with messing up the game settings, or not the game settings, but OBS getting all screwed up, the actual adventuring into Osgiliath is off to a rough start. The Mumak should be no problem for me to kill, so I'll have to just do better this next time with that. And to go a little bit more about leveling 1 to max, It looks like Ivan says 1 to 130 in about 1 to 2 months. Yeah, I think that is, if you power level versus do all these stuff in the game, it can take a lot longer. I know many people have played for many years actually and don't even have level cap characters because sometimes they'll play alts, which can split your playtime as far as leveling up. But if you don't play alts, it can maybe go a little bit faster. I'm actually going to do something odd there and use Desolation just because I know I used a potency gambit on accident actually. And this time, again, I will try to do better as far as killing this thing goes. Can use my heals a little bit more and just let the fight naturally last a little bit longer than last time, not try to push as much damage, and I should be safe. Like this part, I can use a bunch of heals. Last time when I got Seize the Moment, I think I went in melee, which I will actually do this time, but I went in melee and just spammed a lot of my melee's abilities, while I did not have any heal over times or anything like that on me. Oh, while I was in melee, I should have used Desolation. I can actually just use that here, though. I can already tell, even though he still has quite a bit of health left, this is going much better this time. So Brandon, it took you almost 8.5 years for your first one to get 130, which was about 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that's probably closer to what I was talking about with how long some people can take, but if you do an efficient leveling path and try to level quickly, it can probably take just a few months if you're able to play a lot, that is. Play a decent amount, not necessarily a ton. Alright, so back on track with the questing into Osgiliath. And Rohan, I actually like the blue line for solo hunter, but all 3 specs have their strengths, I guess, as far as solo leveling. That is one thing on my leveling hunter when I was doing Trollshaws and Wildwood. There were moments when I'd want to either use the yellow line sometimes and had the red line as my off spec, or I'd want to use the red line and I'd have the yellow line as my off spec. So that was kind of tough. I found it kind of surprising with the hunter. That is an odd class that I'd actually like to get the 3rd trait configuration just so I can do all 3 for when I want to do a certain one. Okay, so it looks like Into Osgiliath is ready to turn in, but I can get a bunch of new quests right outside Osgiliath. What I think I will do is turn in this quest and see if I get anything else before I continue farther into that. And I don't need the book quest tract. I know that's something I would like to get to today, but I know where that is in the Osgiliath Culvert, so I don't need that tracked and taking up space basically on my tracker. Oh yeah, I should do task turn-ins as well. It looks like I still have 50 Shattered Hatchets, and that should be enough for my 5 daily task turn-ins. But just to go back with the hunter, I know I went on a little bit of a tangent about all 3 being useful. I, in general, like the blue line, and that's actually, I'm going to have a guide video somewhat related to that coming up soon-ish, hopefully. Oh, so Freckles, this is actually something I did not know. You said you started a free-to-play character as an experiment, but by the time you got to level 100, which is very high level for a free-to-play character, I feel like you couldn't bear the lack of swift travel. I honestly did not know that free-to-play characters did not have swift travel. That would be very slow as far as traveling goes. Swift travel is very convenient, at the least, I feel like. Especially at level 100, if you get to like Minas Tirith and that, you don't have swift travels around this area around Gondor. I could see that definitely being annoying, especially because you would have to, depending I guess what server you're on, if you're free to play you aren't going to be on a legendary server, but traveling to Gondor and connecting back to Eriador and even Rovanian compared to the more nearby areas, that is very slow, I would think. Okay, Shattered Hatchet should be able to do one more of those. Maybe. There we go. Had to click the right one. And I believe that is my daily task limit. So the task quest, did I complete that? I did complete that, okay. I just don't know where the item I got for reward for that went. I've acquired a universal optional ingredient. I cannot find that. Let me just search it. There it is, okay. I couldn't find it in my inventory, but it's stacked right there for the universal optional crafting ingredient. So swift travel is one of the things you need to be VIP. At least log into a character while you're VIP and you'll get that as a permanent unlock. I thought about doing a video. It'd probably be helpful for some people, doing a video about the permanent VIP unlocks. It's just basically reading off the list, but yeah, that is... I just, even today, still see confusion about what you actually keep as VIP and some strategies there to go like VIP for 1 month or even a couple months, and then taking advantage of all the permanent benefits you can get. And speaking of free-to-play, that is actually something I have considered doing, like a limited free-to-play series just to test it out for one, and for two, I actually feel like it could be a little bit of a fun thing if I could dedicate the time to grinding things up, but that would be probably not the best thing for me to do. This Mumak is actually level 104, so I guess they are all the same level. Even though the level's not showing, they can actually have different level. I do need to kill for the daily 4 Mumak kill. I know they take a little bit of time for me to kill, but it's not something that is entirely for fun, although the fun of it is of course a big benefit. But it is something useful for me to kill. It's not just like I'm killing it just because I want to kill a nemesis, or tempting to. I gotta remind myself of that, unfortunately, but this one got me hit with something good that took out a big chunk of my morale. I think I even still have my slightly tankier gear set up on this character. I'm just getting totally tossed about. At least the Mumak tossing me means I am farther away, not getting hit by his melee attacks. That is actually a big benefit. And I think I have 2 Mumak kill on me right now. And Freckles, getting VIP and not going back, I can see a lot of the permanent benefits being like that for people. Oh, I don't have the other one aggro. That is good. I don't know when this guy will drop aggro. That is actually a concern, that he will drop aggro, and I don't want him to do that. I'm not really getting many bleed procs. I have to use a potion, unfortunately. But I am getting very little bleed procs right now with Seize the Moment. Barbed javelins. Which is really unfortunate. It's making this fight go a lot slower than I feel like it needs to, but I'm just not getting hardly any bleeds at all. There, I got one finally. Now that he's almost dead, I'm getting that stuff, but I'll still help him this last little bit. I'll go ahead and use, if I can find the keys for it, Dark Before Dawn again. There we go. But yeah, that particular Mumak was slow to kill, unfortunately. Maybe that was the higher level one, which can make a little bit of sense if it wasn't just the bleeds not proccing, but also them getting resisted or something is a possibility. Alright, one more while he is here. I actually think I see another one way down there, but we'll wait on that one. And see right here, this time I actually got a ton of bleed procs right here, which should help with the kill speed. If I get to Seize the Moment, I also should go into melee every once in a while, like right here, I'm going to go in melee. I know I can take a lot of damage here, but... oh, he's going to do a lot of damage to me right now, which is not good. Fortunately, I hit him with everything that I wanted to, but he did get a lot of damage on me, so I have to be careful for a little bit. That is a good point, Brandon, with the Mumak kill. It's almost like the plural Muma kill is actually telling me something. Alright, this would be the last one I need. It's not really in my way. I'd rather go ahead while I'm up at this part. I think I have a quest located specifically for this. Oops. Apparently I forgot the second gambit builder there. These mobs should be a lot easier, at least a lot easier individually than the Moomet kill. And the other stuff with like the warband we did today. It's going to be weird. Just in the recent gameplay I've done on the Warden, last stream included, it's been a lot of nemesis, and tougher mobs, basically. So it's going to be weird going back to killing normal mobs. What is this teal quest? The harder they fall. That is what is getting me distracted right now. I'm going to also stay north here. I didn't see this little camp up here that has some trebuchets and stuff. So Freckles, you're wondering how I'd compare Warden versus Blue Hunter for kiting tough mobs. And for me, just with the keybinds on the Warden, this is a very specific issue with the Warden. It is harder to kite on the Warden for me, because of the keybinds. Now I can click like my Gambit masteries and that would basically take care of the issues, but then I'd be building Gambits a little bit slower because of that. And I don't have that problem on the Hunter. I can easily do all the keybinds while kiting on the Hunter compared to the Warden. But that aside, it's kind of tough to compare the two or to really think about it. So the Hunter has a couple nice things for kiting. The Blue Line Hunter, you can use Quick Shot and Strength Stance and that will slow enemies by 40%. The Wardens have a 20-second cooldown skill that can slow enemies by 45%, so a little bit slower, and it gets a 2-second root and is actually an AoE run speed debuff for any extra enemies that are nearby that you're wanting to kite. So on that note actually, in AoE kiting I would say the Warden, especially with the AoE damage. But the Warden, the Hunter also has some other things like dazes if enemies do get close to you for kiting tough mobs and just knocking them out for a while. They have traps and stuff like that that the Warden does not have. The Warden has one knockdown, ambush, and some of the tougher mobs that you'll run into actually are immune to that type of stuff, which would also be immune to the Hunter's version of that type of stuff. So I don't know, they're both pretty good at it. Unfortunately, I don't actually think I have a straightforward answer because they both have a slow. I feel like the Hunter slow is easier to keep up and the Hunter can be a little bit easier to heal on with Quick Shot and Endurance Stance. You just have to stance swap as a Hunter as you're kiting from Strength and Endurance basically. So I feel like maybe the Hunter has an easier time with it. Maybe the potential of the Warden is a little bit more. I think the Warden can maybe pack more damage total, at least while kiting. Alright, I might as well get this Moomek. I really do feel like I couldn't just like pass by it. Okay, I'm going to go in melee. I have seized the moment. I am getting totally messed up with my Gambit builders though. Wow, I did the boot there. I'm going to be taking a lot of damage. Actually, I didn't take that much damage through all that. Oh no, something hit me hard there. Thundering Bellow. Scored a hit with Rain of Arrows. It says scored a hit with Rain of Arrows, but didn't say for what damage. I wonder if that's actually what killed me there. But yeah, if you're Warden, it also depends if you build your character specifically for kiting. I would actually do a different build. For like, actually with these Moomet kill, I would definitely do a different build. I would go into the blue line actually and get like hot pulses, something like that, to help with the healing. But as you say, the blue line Hunter, with their quick shot, being able to heal with that in the endurance stance is very strong. I think I've just pulled two Moomet kill rather. I don't plan to fight both of these, but I can get my morale taps on them. See, I'm trying to navigate through this. I think I pulled a couple extra mobs, unfortunately. I don't know what a couple extra is after I have all these things chasing me anyway. I'm gonna put Never Surrender up because I always forget about that and it will be helpful. Still a lot of enemies chasing me. This is the time when I really wish the keybinds work better with the Warden kiting. I'm actually going to work on that for a little bit. Okay, the Morgul captain should be dying from things. I'm going to use a power restore. Okay, that Mumak is going down. I cannot believe what this mess is turning into. Wow, I'm at the res circle actually. This is where I thought I would be. Actually, thought I would be forced traveling to the res circle from just dying. But so far, that has not happened. Need to keep on the move. I really don't want to get into their melee range. That is what I have been trying to avoid this whole time. I know I just walked past one, but I have to go somewhere to go down the ramp here. So we got one of them. That is still a lot better. I really did think I was going to die that fight or just de-aggro them. I was hoping I would run away far enough, but after time went on a little bit, I kind of realized the possibility of actually killing both of those. I think that thing, it looks like it's stuck in the tree there. Don't think it was quite stuck, it was just slowly moving, but yeah, I have trouble with one Mumak, but somehow having two Mumak kill and running through all these orc camps here, I was able to survive. What do I need to do with this thing? It just says corpse. I wonder if you have to interact with those corpses later. There was something kind of similar in the southern part of South Ithilien, where at one camp you had to interact with those, but they were kind of dead like that at another camp. I think they were the same type of mobs for that. Okay, so I need catapults, I believe, for the Siege of the Morgul Host quest. I see two more catapults. I wonder where the last two will be. Don't believe they would be in Osgiliath. It looks like they will be to the north, I am guessing. Yeah, there's also one more to the south if I really need it, but there are a couple to the north up here. Probably good to just kill things here. I really don't think I need anything for Slayer Deeds anymore. Osgiliath or South Ithilien wise, I might need some, or even Eastern Gondor. I guess it's not South Ithilien specific, but Eastern Gondor I do actually need Easterlings. And just to point out, I actually should give this update on not next weekend. What is today? Today's Friday? I have to actually look at my calendar. So 2 weekends from now, 2 weeks from now, we'll be starting the 20% Virtue XP boost. And I have a little bit of an update. I guess a little bit better look at my schedule, and I think I will actually be able to play a decent amount to take advantage of that. I'd really like to, on this character, wrap up any sort of Gondor deeds I have. So it's something I probably won't be focusing on like I might normally, if I even have time to. If I just somehow finish everything questing wise Gondor and don't have the deeds done and would actually have open time to do something like that. It's basically I would choose to do something else and save that for the deed weekend, and that is the Virtue XP boost weekend, which I guess could be called the deed weekend, but that is what is going to be going on with the deeds, I think, as an update. So this is Old Anorian. I have some of these. Haradrim, that is the one I do not have many of. I have to look into where those are. I think Trolls as well. Probably a lot of them on the Causeway Forts and perhaps in the southern areas that I have not visited as much. Okay, but setting that aside, Eastern Gondor is where I am right now. I think Osgiliath does not count separately for the enemies. For the Slayer. These actually, the Mumakil count for the Beast Slayer deed. I think I've probably killed 15 to 20 Mumakil total on this character for that, so it's helped it a little bit. But anyway, we can go to into Osgiliath, takes me to the culverts, and I wonder if somebody in my can mention the ability to summon to the culverts, but I don't think they're there anymore. I pulled something. Oh, just these Easterlings. They are absolutely no problem. Until they put their bleeds on me. I don't know if these specific Easterlings do, but there are some enemies that put bleeds, just any sort of damage over time effects at this point, usually actually do hurt. I remember those. I don't know the half-troll throwers, but a lot of half-trolls have very annoying stuns. And Andrew, I did not catch the Chord of the Rings stream earlier, but you actually bring up a good point that I caught some of the information from that. I usually cannot watch those streams, and as I think I've said many times, I totally accidentally used that battle potion of restoration. But there is some news from that I am aware of, that update 28.5 is scheduled actually for the week of the Virtue XP weekend, which would be, that week starts the 18th, I believe. That is the Sunday. And the update of that week is also going to be when we get level 105 coming to the legendary servers, which is basically what I figured. That was my guess, that we would get the legendary server update and the anniversary at the same time, and that sounds like that's going to be what's happening, which is unfortunately something I do have to complain about. LOTRO, Standing Stone Games, I guess, has a history of giving too many things at once, too many different new things at once, instead of spreading things out. So they're giving us, it looks like, the anniversary event. It's not actually, it doesn't line up 100, well actually it might line up almost 100%. We're probably going to get the update and then the anniversary event the next day. Something like that. I'd have to check the calendar again, but like with level 100, just for example, we got that with the Yule Festival. Seemed to like lining up legendary server updates with festivals. And Vincent, you were wondering what a legendary server is, and I'll try to remember to get to that in a minute, but for me, unfortunately, I guess they don't want you going that way. I feel like Standing Stone Games has a tendency to drop a bunch of things at once. I think I've heard it by other players described as like too many eggs in a basket, instead of spreading it out. So when that update comes, I'll be interested in 1, leveling to 105, 2, actually doing the anniversary event, and 3, and not only just leveling 105, but all the new content we get on the server, the new quests, After Battle, Minas Tirith, North Ithilien, the Waste, all that sort of stuff. I think they should all be hit by everything, but I'll use a Brink of Victory just in case. And then what else are we getting? Oh yeah, we're getting the whatever it's called, story tales. They've changed the name of what they're calling that feature, but the continued stories, whatever that is, the story-based missions that's going to go with Bilbo Baggins, I believe, for the first one, if I remember correctly. So all of that, it sounds like, is coming in 2 weeks' time. But Vincent, to get on for your question about a legendary server, it basically locks the content that you have available, and it level caps. The server has a lower level cap, and it progresses through the levels through LOTRO based on previous releases. So it started like with Shadows of Angmar with the level 50 cap, and the server was pretty popular back then, and even into Moria was relatively popular, and then dropped off pretty rapidly after that, and dropped off really rapidly, I think, after Mirkwood. But yeah, the level cap is slowly increasing every few months. They raise the level cap and content we have. The main reason I play on this server, I mention a lot, is just because my kinship is here, which is basically all the people I play LOTRO with. They all play on the server, so I do as well. Now, when new content gets released, like level 130 stuff, I do go on Arkenstone for that. I caught up last year on the Minas Morgul stuff and War of Three Peaks stuff, and after all that, and after we actually got level 100 on the Legendary server, that's actually when I started to catch up on the server. I got my Warden to level 95 actually. This Warden was stuck before West Rohan for a long time because I didn't want to do West Rohan all that much, but I did make it through that. And now that the new content has dropped down a little bit, I guess, haven't gotten too much of that lately. Probably get some, I could actually get a few scrolls of empowerment. Might as well get more of those while I'm here and thinking about it. I'm actually running out of legacies to upgrade that I really want to upgrade on this Warden, which is odd. But they just don't have that many good legacies that are very appealing for me to upgrade. Which is kind of nice because I don't feel the need to basically grind scrolls of empowerment on this character. That is pretty nice. Okay, I have so many different scrolls here. So I have Amphalos Scroll of Empowerment, but it is bound to account. I have Amphalos Scroll of Empowerment, but it's not bound to account. I have Scroll of Empowerment max tier 74. I have Scroll of Empowerment max tier 83, and anything that is past what I am getting right now is the stuff I want to save, actually, so I want to save all 4 of those. And unfortunately, that just means they take up more inventory slots. Oh, I have 16 Morgul Crests. I'm basically saving those, I feel like, for the next update. I don't even have enough for the 5 Essence slot gear, but especially with us getting the update in a couple weeks, I have like no interest in actually investing my 20 Morgul Crests into one of these pieces of gear. That outfit on that minstrel looks kind of simple, not in a bad way. Looks like some mismatch type stuff that somehow works a little bit. Somewhat goes together.
I greet you, friend.
Yeah, go ahead and clean out my inventory. Don't care about those essences. I should keep, I think I kept one of these at one point. I'll go ahead and lock that. I really doubt I'll ever use incoming healing essence, but put that there. And the next thing I have to do is defeat orcs throughout Osgiliath. Search the southwestern area of Osgiliath. Okay. And I believe some NPCs throughout Osgiliath have some quests for me. I have Haradrim and Easterling forces in Osgiliath. I have, that is probably an instance. I have to remember how to actually get out of the culverts here. So Haradrim and Easterlings, and then trolls as well. One of them is within Osgiliath in general, and the other is the Great Bridge. So we'll go across the Great Bridge to the southwest, I believe, is where I will be headed. The Great Bridge, however, have to go back this way for that. And I also have there are a few NPCs scattered throughout Osgiliath that I have visited, and I had their quests, but I actually canceled their quests to save up quest log slots. So Freckles, you're wondering if I miss anything about vanilla LOTRO. There are a few things I miss about vanilla LOTRO. For one, Warden Tank being viable. I know that's not quite vanilla, but that's olden days of LOTRO still. One thing with LOTRO, comparing it, so if I compare LOTRO, say vanilla LOTRO to vanilla WoW, there are a lot of more quality of life things I like about LOTRO compared to, say, what classic WoW would be missing compared to I guess the modern new regular WoW. So classic WoW being a game I like, I don't think LOTRO is quite like that, where I don't know how much I would actually enjoy going completely back to vanilla because of quality of life things. I know a lot of people also like the old trait system. I am a fan of the new one, but there's some residual, I feel like, of the old system that makes them not really do a great job with balance of the new trait system and making each spec viable. I feel like with the new system, each spec should be viable. So like a minstrel could be a viable DPS, for example, given the new system. With the old system, it was, I feel like, more fine that the minstrel was just a healing class, the guardian was just a tanking class, for example. So that is one thing I like. I like the new trait system, but I feel like it's almost an issue the new trait system creates, in my mind at least. So that's a part that I would not really miss, maybe about vanilla LOTRO. See, I'm trying to think of other specific things because I think there are some things that I liked. A lot of those things are still in the game though. So for example, like crafting, I really like crafting up to the master tier, even the supreme tier a little bit, but after that it just becomes boring to me, crafting after that for some reason. Oh yeah, the difficulty, that is a big thing. I would actually say difficulty, I don't know necessarily slow combat. Combat's just slow for slowness sake. I wouldn't miss that, but difficulty could be nice, and that's why I try on my Warden to get myself either in difficult situations or do something difficult like the Mimic Hill. Adds a little bit of difficulty. I know it's not the most difficult thing, but it's almost like a Mimic Hill. Thinking of that as a normal mob, or maybe an old signature, is almost how it feels like, which is very odd. And I also think it made things more accomplishing, actually, back in the day when you were able to solo them. So, even thinking about like my Runekeeper going through Moria back in the day, it was like a huge accomplishment. It felt like when I soloed elites in Moria. It was not a frequent event, and it took a lot, at least for me. I don't know how bad or how well I played the Runekeeper back then, but I remember it feeling like a bigger deal than it would nowadays. It actually felt like a bigger deal for me to do elites back in the day than it did for me to do the Nemesis Mimic Hill that are outside Osgiliath here. I have no idea where I need to go to my quest. It also said defeat trolls on the crude span of the bridge. I'm pretty sure I defeated like 10 trolls or something. At least that's what it felt like. I'm pretty sure I defeated more than 2. I wonder if a couple of them were technically outside of the zone there. Because that's really weird. I defeated many trolls there, and I just looked at the quest and I was like, oh, I need to do more. I was heading to the southwestern part of Osgiliath here for specifically the book quest. So maybe I should still do that, but I feel the need to go back to the bridge just to see what is going on there. And hello, Der Zombie. Good evening and late night from Germany. Yes, it is late in, I feel like anywhere in Europe. So these trolls, that troll counts. That troll counts. That troll counts. Okay. We're going to attempt this again. And I think they are actually looking at ways to make the landscape more difficult again. On Bullroar, there was a landscape difficulty NPC that was found by some players. Which Bullroar, just so people know, is the test server, beta server for LOTRO. These are not actually counting. They say they count. 2 of them have counted so far of all these ones I've killed, but they all say they count. I wonder if I have to be standing... I don't know why I would have to stand in a specific area. It seems like the NPC should just count. Okay, this is a good spot to defeat trolls. I guess I have to defeat them specifically on the bridge, so it actually might be a... they have to die within the bridge area. So Nightbling, you said, yeah, difficulty, I don't know. That's something I did not really expect with Anor and Ithil. perhaps some people thought it would be more of a vanilla classic LOTRO rather than just an updated LOTRO with a level cap. I feel like they could have made it more difficult. But the big thing about it was actually slower progression, just getting a minus 40% XP debuff, which we still have on the server, which isn't too much difficulty, it's just slowness leveling, not really mob difficulty, of course. Okay, so got that quest done. I'm glad I checked that and actually went back. I wonder how... if they actually made this where you could fall through it right here, how mad that would make people. Like if you just ran over that one part, you would totally fall through. It seems to be one of the only parts of the bridge where that could happen. I feel like that would be a neat thing, but probably would get just too frustrating over time. Anyway, we can head west and then down south. So Zombie, you really like my cosmetic? I like it as well. It is something, I have never used a cosmetic close to this. I haven't even seen a cosmetic that looks quite like this. So it is actually the Minas Tirith Anorian Mercy. I think Anorian tree. It goes by a few different names, but it's basically the Anorian cosmetic that you get from doing a lot of the Minas Tirith stuff, old Anorian stuff. And it is a chest piece, boots, shoulder pad, and here's the helmet if I actually equip that, but I don't really like that. Yeah, it's really weird for me to actually see, normally in LOTRO characters are all covered up basically by their armor, so it's weird to see my character's legs going around. Also the gloves, I do have gloves, but they're not a part of the set, it just takes whatever I have equipped. There are gloves to this set, but they're not actually gloves, they are bracers, so that might be something I would add to this cosmetic. Also the Wardens, this is something I don't know if I can ever replace this on this character, but the Wardens pack gives an appearance of more spear / javelins back there. I feel like I've had the camera zoomed out quite a bit. Maybe it's because of where I am, but in an area like this, I almost feel the need to have my camera zoomed out. Maybe that's what is going on. Something I don't know if I pay attention to it too much and I just go about my day. It's probably something I do more subconsciously, change the zoom of the camera based on whatever I'm doing, whatever I need to see, I guess. Well, unfortunately, she got stunned. I feel like that's going to be the biggest issue if I actually do run into anything dangerous here. It's going to be from the stuns. Anything dangerous about just like the regular mobs and regular pulls, that is. Relatively regular pulls. I do feel like the pulls I am doing right now are actually fairly regular for a Warden at least. Which this is a very nice place. I know I have a lot of fun going through Osgiliath on a Warden. This is a nice place to show off, I guess, the strengths of the Warden. Mainly the fast kill speed, and even the ability to kite a little bit. But just putting range resounding challenge on a mob and then I can move on and keep going throughout the camp fairly fast before I start to get too much damage. So I think we already defeated some orcs, but this guy just wants me to defeat more orcs, and we go to the northwest. I do need to keep track of if there are any NPCs nearby. I should probably, I wonder if I can pull up a map of NPCs. There's one I feel like somewhere in here. I do want to do those quests, I think. So I'm going to search the LOTRO wiki for Osgiliath quests. And it is the ones from Lost But Not Forgotten. That is the quest that I did. I did that to start the Ashes and Sorrows quest chain. I say this every time, but I have no idea how well y'all can or cannot hear me. Okay, so the one in the southwest is going to be Meldir by the Armory. at 64.3 and 10.9. Freckles, thank you for the complimenting my cat here. I think she appreciates it. She is quite distracting right now. I still don't even know where I'm going. So 10.9 west, here's the NPC. He still has a quest ring icon, so I just need to go a little bit further into this. Now I am rooted. That is actually another thing that could cause some issues with my... I don't even know what to call it, but my crazy pulling and just go-go mentality, I guess. Fortunately, I cannot play that well and have the cat at the same time. So patrol March of Minas Morgul. Okay, we need to go east for this guy's quest. I feel like these are quests, all the ones I'm doing now is more so the order how you're supposed to go through Osgiliath. I know I did the specific ones just to get Ashes and Stars way back in the day before I knew that I would actually be doing all these Osgiliath quests. I also didn't know I'd actually get to Osgiliath so quickly into this stream. That is something, I know we've been here for a little bit now, but that is something, as I mentioned, I didn't even know my quest was called into Osgiliath. It just happened to work out basically perfectly. Alright, do not have enough room for that. That means I need to sell. I believe I can just sell everything except the zircons. I must have gotten a full stack of zircons there. And this is a time I'm actually interested. Ooh, there's an elite here. Yeah, back in Siege of Mirkwood time, I guess, was when my Runekeeper went to Moria. There were 2 elites I specifically remember soloing in Moria. Yeah, the helping with gaming, that is what they do. Normally, she's just cleaning her paws right now. That is not a normal activity for my cat right here. Okay, what are we doing quest-wise, though? The book quest I do want to lock track. That would be useful, I think. And then collect barrels of weapons at the ruined armory. Is that bracing for defeat here? That is bracing for defeat here. But I do not see any barrels of weapons. Oh, the bats count for the Beast Slayer deed. I wonder, the crawlers probably don't. There's probably no deed for the crawlers. The orcs, I've completed the deed, assuming there was a deed to kill orcs. I hope there is a deed to kill orcs. I feel like that would be a good deed to do in Osgiliath. Osgiliath, well, just in general in the game. All throughout Middle-earth. I actually think it would be, speaking of that, fun to... I have cat hair in my mouth. Also, fortunately, I have a napkin right there. And my mouth feels all weird, but I think it would actually be fun in the game to have almost like achievements, but that aren't zone specific. So something like kill 1,000 orcs. Maybe that even gives you like 1,000 virtue XP or something. A little bit of reward would be nice with it, but it would be, I think, interesting to have non-zone specific statistics like that. I think I did this quest before, but never actually bothered turning it in. I think I did get all these barrels. Maybe. Might have been a little bit of a different quest, but I remember something very like it, and I think it was this. Just unfortunate with this character, I did not have everything. I am already full on my inventory again. Wow. I'm pretty sure I just sold a bunch of things. Alright, sell again. But yeah, they could have it like kill 1,000 orcs, kill 10,000 orcs, kill 100,000 is a lot of orcs, but I could even have that. Maybe that one could give like 10,000 virtue XP. I don't know if they could do account-wide or even server-wide deeds. That would also be pretty fun. I feel like a lot of deeds could be account-wide progress just to eliminate the need to grind virtue XP on different alts. I don't think virtue XP, it's actually not too bad of a thing for a single character, but if you like to play alts, that is when it gets really annoying, because sometimes, just like deed-wise, for example, my hunter might do all the Trollshaw's deeds, and in contrast, my burglar might do all the Evendim deeds, but then I would have to have the hunter also go through Evendim and the burglar go through Trollshaw's for both of them to get all those deeds. So that is the situation where I really feel like it could be account-wide progress as far as the deeds, or the virtue XP at least goes, the virtue XP from those deeds. But also some account-wide statistics type deeds, achievement type deeds could be nice as well, just for fun, but also the reward to, of course, lessen grind is usually my mindset on those. They could even have one for like the movement kill. And there are some deeds that are kind of close to that. There's like the roaming threat slayer deed, which requires you to kill a ton of them. They're not account wide, but those are things that are all throughout Middle Earth, and it is at least spread out a little bit, almost like that. So Freckles, you would love account-wide deeds. You're fed up with Slayer deeds per character. Yeah, that is where it gets really bad. In addition to the example I mentioned, just doing Slayer deeds on multiple characters, like, for example, in Eastern Gondor, if you wanted to do the deeds here, while Osgiliath is a convenient place for a lot of those deeds, maybe it's not the best place for some of those deeds. And even things like the Snowgrims, whatever they're called, in Forakel. I know that one is a deed that bothers a lot of people. Even exploration deeds, just because you explore all those areas on a single character, is almost like you're just running around Middle Earth. Sometimes it's neat to take in these sites and stuff, but if you're doing it just for the virtue XP, just for the reward, for me at least, it's not all that fun doing it that way. And I need one more barrel of weapon. I didn't even realize I got to the bridge again. I was just like killing things and traveling and looking for these barrels and stuff, but I need to at least do something while down here. Oh, so the per character deeds for LOTRO points is a good point, Rohan V. If they could have the system work, I think more specifically account-wide virtue XP. So if you complete that deed on one character, you get the virtue XP, but the virtue XP account-wide, I feel like, is a way they could do that. That way, each character, as you mentioned, each character could get the LOTRO points, but the virtue XP portion of it would be account-wide and like a one-time thing per server, I guess, is the way that could work. Alright, did we patrol? I believe we did patrol, which I needed to do this anyway to go back to the Meldir NPC. Might as well kill more trolls while at it. This is not a good place to kill trolls according to my previous quest, but I'm going to do it anyway. Don't know if there's not a troll slayer deed. I really feel like the big thing, one of the biggest things lacking with LOTRO is actually alt friendliness, and I say that as somebody who likes to play a lot of alts. I don't know that I would play my different alts all that much more, because it's something I almost just ignore. I don't really bother actually grinding virtue XP on each individual alt anymore, but I feel like it would be something I would probably be more likely to level alts and do different things on alts a little bit more frequently that I am at least motivated to right now. Wow, I have only been streaming an hour. It feels like I've done a lot of stuff. I actually don't even have a drink right now. Usually I at least have my water bottle. Here, I might have to take an AFK just to get something. That's a lot of enemies. That's a lot of enemies, but it's no match for the Warden doing their range resounding challenge thing. There's almost no point in me actually using that morale tap since the Shattered Javelin's nerf, but it can still apply a bleed, and it can help with me surviving in the meantime a little bit. Here's actually the last barrel I need, it looks like, so I'll just kill these two quickly. Oh, full inventory. This is such a convenient item, especially a place like this where I'm just getting so many different task items, getting them so fast. This is, again, one thing I did want to pay attention to as I travel through Osgiliath, how much gold I actually get. I know on like the regular servers that getting the multiple thousands of gold is not that difficult, I would guess. But on this server, I feel like Osgiliath is actually one of the better places if you just roam around here killing enemies, especially I think the northeastern part, if I remember correctly, is very, very densely packed with enemies. Don't think it was northwest. Maybe, I mean, the whole of Osgiliath is packed with enemies. You get task items, but also the orcs and the such, they drop, was it maybe 50 silver each, and then the signatures drop almost 200 silver, like 150-ish. A little bit above 150 silver each, so after a lot of kills, the amount of gold you get does add up over time, and I think it's relatively decent. I don't basically on this server have anything to actually spend my gold on, at least at the moment. I could always get scrolls of empowerment, that type of stuff, but right now I really don't feel the need to spend my gold on anything, and I cannot see what's happening. I think my Warden is dying, which is not good. I just used Never Surrender, okay. Oh, I hit, okay, I actually did hit enough with resolution there. I just want the heal out of resolution. That's actually enough enemies that I get a decent heal out of that. Okay, so I think we're headed north. Oh, and I'm stunned. This is almost like earlier outside Osgiliath when I had the 2 Mumek Hill. I just need to stay on the go, except I'll keep pulling more enemies. Okay, it might be time. Oh, I was going to say it might be time for me to use a potion, but I got a huge heal up there. I don't know if the enemies, did they just start running away? I don't think I killed all of them. Unfortunately, I did want to kill all of them. I wouldn't have kept running away if I had known they were going to run away. Because it's something compared to the Mumek Hill, they have a shorter range before they decide to retreat and stop chasing. But somehow got through that. I didn't even need to use a potion. I know I have a ton of those, but it always feels better, I guess, if you don't have to actually use a potion. That guy looks weird. I don't know. There was something weird about how he looked. But is a regular Urukai? Maybe it's his armor, his mask, I think. He has a mask, it looks like, yeah. It looks like about the least threatening thing here, though. Even the goblins appear more threatening than these Urukai for some reason. I think the Urukai, if I remember correctly, are just supposed to be the little bit of tougher things. And Freckles, I'm glad you find the wardening here impressive. Sometimes it does not, for me at least, feel all that impressive when things should go smoother than they actually do. Here's an elite. That's the fun type of stuff that I feel like can add a little bit of difficulty. If I go about this like a normal fight, having an elite on top of everything else that could potentially join in could add a little bit of challenge, but still, an elite now compared to back in the day, of course, is basically no problem at all. That's actually, Tarling's Crown is full of elites. Some elite masters, some nemesis, and things like that, but that is one thing that made it enjoyable. It was, I would say, a little bit more difficult than actually, I don't know. Way back in the day in LOTRO, Tarling's Crown nowadays at level 100 versus the way back in the day LOTRO of normal mobs, comparing Tarling's Crown as like a normal solo difficulty thing of normal mobs back in the day, if it compares now doing it solo to that, I actually do not know. It could be comparable. But one of the things with the difficulty is killing like an individual elite there. I almost would compare it to a normal mob from what I remember, maybe back when I started, at least during Siege of Mirkwood. And even getting multiple mobs on me, while it was, I would say, sufficiently difficult, I think even getting tons of mobs on you actually back in the day, even normal mobs, was a little bit dangerous and difficult. Well, random not in gear that I don't care about that so much so that I feel like it's just vendor junk, even though that's something at like level 50 or something, at least back in the day before they nerfed the low level essence gear, low level not in gear. That would have been like a huge random drop to actually get, but at this level, it is vendor junk as far as I am concerned. Unfortunately, that is the way I feel. Okay, so we have the book quest as Northwestern and also burning the Great Bridge has Damrod here. I still need to defeat Haradrim and Easterlings. I guess I'm just actually am in the area for them now, but just not actually getting them. I also have a quest ring icon. This is probably Damrod, rather. And there's also a ranger. Oh, this is the...
Many of the Orcish forces, led by a terrible man, clad all
burning the Great Blade. Oh, that is in the Osgiliath culverts that they turn it as there. And there should be a ranger up here in the northwest, so I need to find who this is. The ranger up here is in the northeast. It's 61 south, so I need to go north. And 10.2 west, so I need to go northeast. I think around the square is where he is. But yeah, what I'm thinking for this stream is I basically can go. It is Friday, something I have to remember. Which after this week, I almost feel like the days are just like, I don't even know. Don't have too much of a sense for what day it is. It actually... big reminder, I guess, that it is even Friday. And I also, because I clicked the wrong tab there. Oh yeah, I was going to the LOTRO wiki. I was like, why did I even go to that? That is a reminder that I need to turn the CPU priority for LOTRO up, so we have, at least when I do something like that, a little bit better performance. I'm also turning Chrome down. Chrome is actually using even more memory than normal right now. Don't have anything extra open, it's just taking out more memory than usual. Okay, there are some half-trolls. I actually do have a decent amount of half-trolls, I think partially probably from Osgiliath, but there are some other areas in Eastern Gondor and South Ithilien that had a lot of half-trolls, but this place has a bunch of them. I feel like I might as well be rounding them up, since I'm traveling this way anyway. I actually think I need to go quite a bit. I already needed to go northeast, now I need to go more north. Still need to go east a little bit. I'm probably going to use a potion there. It's kind of like mithril coins. I'm very stingy with actually spending mithril coins to travel, even though that's basically what I have them for. I'm very stingy about actually using a potion to heal up, even though that's exactly why I have them as well, to prevent me from dying. Also getting some Haradrim and Easterlings now. I guess fewer orcs, more Haradrim and Easterlings. Here, I guess that would actually make a little bit of sense. I feel like the Gondor side, somewhat of Osgiliath. I don't know if there's any actual significance there, but it is a note at least. So pre-imprisoned rangers, and yes, we're going right back to that square. I am curious, there are tons of enemies down here. I guess, okay, just camps down there of orcs. Executioner. Oh, not an executioner. Where is the executioner from? Maybe they're in Osgiliath, but when I saw half troll, I just like went straight to executioner. Wonder where that's from. Okay, there are executioners here. That must just be the one name I remember. Are these the ones that stun? I'm actually curious. I don't know if I want to let him stun me. He has a lot of bleeds on him. I'll see what his induction does. Yeah, that one stuns. Maybe that's why I remember them. Like, that wasn't even that long of a stun. I thought it was like an 8-second stun. There's also rubble. What do I need to do with rubble? Oh, that's for the book quest. Dig through the rubble of East, near the Fountain of East Gondor. So I needed to head here for the book quest as well. Things are lining up right now. And that's exactly why I wanted to remember to actually go back to all these different rangers spread throughout Osgiliath so I could get their quests, and it lines up a little bit better than I thought. I don't think I've ever done Osgiliath and actually lined the book quests up and the general Eastern Gondor South of Lillian quest and Osgiliath quests, all those up at the same time. Yeah, there's the stun again. That is still short. I really thought there was a longer stun from half-trolls. I know I don't know if it's half-trolls in that instance though, but in the School of their Merdane, something does a longer stun. Okay, so we are freeing some imprisoned rangers. Oh, he did get his thing off. I used my interrupt, but I was a little bit slow on that. I do feel fortunate being a warden though while they have me stunned, which I should avoid that stun anyway, but at least I have damage over time going. Okay, so there are 6 more rangers, and actually it looks like there are about 6 more on the map, so I think I will need to go to all of these individually. I'll get this one and then probably pull all those half-trolls if I can. That is generally my method on the Warden, is to clear out a bunch of things and then I'll get whatever quest items I need. I don't know if I got all of them hit by this, so I'll use it again anyway. Oh, this guy's an elite. I was like, this guy has a lot of health. He's dying very slowly from all those dots, but he's an elite, that was why. Once again, it's something that I don't need to check all that frequently, but just with the gold, just from drops. I guess I have sold a little bit sometimes, but it is going up as we go about this. Getting, like, from these half-trolls, a little over 100 silver, it looks like. I thought there were stuff that dropped, like, 160 silver, but I might be mixing that up with a different area. Oh, this is one of my favorite places, actually. In all of Osgiliath, it is actually this square. Maybe there's something similar in Northeast, but this is what I was thinking of, one of my favorite places of Osgiliath. Mainly because of all the enemies here. This is actually something because I don't think I get to hit everything. There is some merit to me actually switching to the blue line for this. It could be a little bit iffy on my survivability here in the yellow line. Back in the day, it was just like spamming morale taps in the blue line, which probably help with survivability nowadays, even with the morale taps not being as strong as they used to be. Also have to keep up with the debuff removal. That is a big part of me surviving this pull, I guess. I don't even know what to call this, just me running through this theater with all these enemies. Not even, I just like keep looking ahead, I'm not even looking at all those enemies. I am looking at my health though, and that I saw was going down. Okay, I think we did a full circle around all the tiers. I don't think I quite pulled absolutely everything, but I got a decent number of the enemies in this area killed. I might actually die with that stun. That was enough to get me down, unfortunately. I think I'm at a time where I will use my free revive. There is a reason I was not using that right outside Osgiliath. That is unfortunate. It would have been very hard for me to actually go through all of Osgiliath and not die. But it is still something I don't specifically try to die while I try to get myself into situations where it is a real possibility. Not actually trying to get my character killed, of course. Okay, we're out of combat. This quest, I wonder what it'd be like. Not necessarily for just let's see, what was it going to say? What this quest would be like for other classes, maybe? I know this quest you could take it a little bit slower, but if this game was actually back at its difficult times as in mob difficulty, the density of this camp makes it difficult, and even signatures, that type of stuff, and the damage over time they do can make it, there's some difficulty in there, but I do wonder if mobs were at their strength, relative strength, as they were back in the day, like vanilla LOTRO, exactly how hard this area would be, and how slow and much of a slog it would feel like versus something fun to go through, which it feels fun right now. But that is with my Warden going through it about like huge AoE pulls. I don't know how my Runekeeper would do there, if it'd be as fun on the Runekeeper. But any class with AoE where you can survive to pull a lot of enemies, I feel like this is a more fun type of combat, but perhaps on something like the Runekeeper, it would be more fun for me to have fewer enemies, but stronger enemies. In contrast to the Warden, which that would also be fun on the Warden. I feel like it's hard to have an encounter that's not fun for the Warden. I really should consider getting this character a crafting carry if I'm really going to be playing her a lot more. I know it's something that has ramped up in March and April, especially, getting back to the mini-series of A Warden's Gondor, which I believe I'm on like part 14 or 15. It's something I just track for a little bit of progression, and of course it being a like YouTube series, actually keeping track of that stuff, but and kind of it's a leftover thing a little bit from way back the Let's Plays days. I feel like Let's Plays in general have seemed to have died off in favor of streaming, which I, as somebody who did Let's Plays back in the day and now streams, I feel like streams they're more interactive and I think more fun, a little bit better. I don't know strictly better for everybody, but for me they seem to be better. Anyway, with like Let's Play series, you would have part 1, part 2, all that sort of stuff going on, and this is kind of like that. It streams, but I'm continuing going through Gondor on my Warden, so that's how the individual parts go. So this is, of course, the Dome of Stars instance as you go in here. Cannot click it, so I'll delete in you. A lot of quests ready to turn in, it looks like. Have Halhir, Damrod, and then Damrod, and Damrod again. Damrod has 3 quests. And then Halhir has 1. And the one that is Halhir is actually outside the culverts, so we'll do that. Might as well sell while traveling. All these different scrolls of empowerment, as long as none are bound to character. Yeah, it looks like the scrolls are at least bound to account at most. I could send those to an alt. I've kind of made my Lore Master a temporary bank alt, but that is going to cause some issues at a later time. Supposedly there's an enemy hitting me. I think it might be that executioner that's back there. Feels like a weird way to travel. Normally I've gone east and then up north to him. But here's the ranger right on top of these steps. It doesn't even look like he's hiding from this viewpoint. Okay, now going back to the culverts, and I do want to make sure, just check my quests in general with Osgiliath. Also, I still actually have 3 bounty quests. I just happen to never run into these enemies in Southern Ithilien. All the quests I'm doing are repeatable. I have completed. Apparently I have completed whatever by Mind and Blade quests. Maybe that's why I was able to pick it up from one of those rangers. I was able to pick up a quest again. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've done this, the one with the barrels of weapons. Maybe that was repeatable and that is why I was able to. Ooh, so Freckles, he said you admire my resilience. You found Rohan and Gondor rather tedious the first time. So did I. I did not like Gondor. I don't like Rohan right now. Rohan, West Rohan in particular, that is my least favorite zone in the entire game. By far, actually. Now, I used to also think pretty poorly of Gondor, but it's something that has been surprisingly fun. I plan to, after I do some of the level 105 content in Gondor, I plan to actually review Gondor with this new discovery, new mindset on it, that I actually enjoy it. I feel like I partially underrated Gondor, just thought of it poorly because of Rohan, and because some of the areas there are mounted combat enemies, things like that. They even have quests, are part of, like, you have to do them to get trait points, which is a thing I do not like at all. So yeah, there are a lot of things with Gondor that made me initially just dislike it, but nowadays, I don't know nowadays, but on my Warden at least, I have been able to enjoy it going through it once. Now, to me, probably doesn't offer the most replayability compared to other areas in LOTRO, but I don't think it is as bad as Rohan, for me at least. Some people enjoy Rohan. I do not, basically. Still getting third age items. Eventually I will have them all filtered. I keep thinking I do. I have Captain's Emblem, so I have 75. Actually, Captain's Emblem, I don't even have a level 100 version of that, so eventually I'll get one of those and filter it, I guess. All these things filtered. I hope there's not a limit to how many things you can filter. It's actually causing me, I feel like that's causing me lag, having my filtered loot up. Now there, this is Undamaged Blades and Armor Scraps. I wonder if that is a quest I have completed. That was one I've never completed, okay.
I cannot read much of this message.
Tactical or physical? Probably tactical mitigation. I don't have anything I want to slot that in right now, but... Oh, Crystal of Remembrance. That was actually the big reward from that book quest. These could actually be decent, these bracelets. So one with agility and vitality. Probably would want the agility and vitality one, oddly. It's just more efficient stats, I think. I'll have to look into that more, but the Crystal of Remembrance, I need to use that. You can use that on a bridle. Wow. I don't think I would ever use that on a bridle. But the Crystal of Remembrance, I get a new legacy for my javelin finally. Now the question is, what legacy do I want? There are heal bonus for conviction. That is probably, yeah. All these legacies are not all that great. I could actually do careful step movement speed penalty. That's such a fringe legacy that is really hard for me to actually ever consider using, but there are just so many bad Warden legacies. I could replace it with vitality at higher levels, definitely. But I think heal bonus for conviction being the skill. I think that will be the best one that I can get. Unfortunately, it's not even that big of a deal, but it's something. Get a little bit of a boost to it, I guess. I don't even know the heal bonus might be specifically for the Gamut chain. I don't even know how that works. So Nathan Philip Connors, hello. And Rohan, you love East Rohan because of the soundtrack. Let's see, Riders of Rohan. Yeah, Riders of Rohan, I think. I remember that soundtrack a little bit and enjoying some of those tracks. And Nathan, I also do agree with you. East Rohan I enjoy more than West Rohan. It's been a while since I've done a full quest through East Rohan. I did mainly because of mounted combat. I didn't enjoy it initially. I will say the warbands of East Rohan, even though the mounted warbands were really annoying. I think they're actually a pretty neat thing. The non-mounted warbands, I should clarify, as far as that goes. I don't know. I kind of wonder what this character... I'm getting so many scrolls of empowerment. Normally that is a good thing. Whistle, this is Tolwen's Journey. That is for Talathanor, which we are taking a break from. I should just sell. I hope I still have my subscriber town services. I know it's going to be expiring soon, but not for almost an hour and a half. And yeah, Rohan B, I would have guessed that you enjoyed or liked Rohan, at least because of your name. See, Rohan is a place I feel like I can like, but it's the questing there I don't like. West Rohan actually has some neat areas, neat environments, the typical neat world building. East Rohan a little bit less so to me, but I do feel like that is a good component of West Rohan. It does have some neat sights. Warden's Javelin. What am I doing? Scrolls of Empowerment? Okay, Shield, Gamut, Line, Healing. That is something that, relative to other legacies I could upgrade, will be helpful.
We will find
travel. Oh, for Gothmog Chapter 3, or Book 3, Chapter 8. So Gothmog, of interest, he was actually in the thumbnail for my last stream, but I was getting him mixed up with, I think it's the Witch King of Ingmar that actually visits the epic battles. Maybe he will make an appearance in this quest. I honestly don't remember what the quest name is. Gothmog appears. Okay, let's make our way through here. I have a tendency to run way ahead of NPCs in instances like this, because as you all see me in the landscape, usually go through things fairly quickly. But I don't want to get so far ahead of him that things bug out, which I feel like is a real possibility, unfortunately. Like, I see that guy, he's standing there, and then... Oh, that was actually what I was wondering. That's why I didn't want to run far ahead, because there weren't many orcs here. What are we seeing, like visions? Something. Apparently I look quite unwell. Well, there's a lot of dread going on. That would be one explanation. We could be continuing the search, but he wants to stay in there talking about continuing the search. That is an annoying thing, I will say, with some NPCs. As they talk about doing things, they talk about running, they say we should go fast, but they just sit there talking instead of doing. I have no idea what this ground area is. I guess it's not actually an effect going on, it's just a eye thing. I hope I'm headed north. I think I'm headed north. No, I'm not headed north. Got my directions turned around enough that I did not even know I was heading east. So we are searching for Grond. Yeah, I think my eyes are probably playing tricks on me. There's somebody. Guladir. So I need to go northeast. Oh, there's that thing. I don't remember if that is the... Is this actually Grond? The name of this thing might be Grond, I don't know. Yeah, this is Grond, the great weapon of the enemy. I was thinking Grond was like some sort of ranger. It seemed like a little bit... Damage mechanism? Oh, my damage is just trying to damage. I pull out a pickaxe to damage it, okay. To attempt to damage it. Repels my strikes. But this is the thing in the... slight spoiler. Minas Tirith Epic Battle. One of the last ones. I don't really feel like that's a spoiler, especially after this game. And the updates, at least. This update has been out for so long, but... That is a later part of the story than where I am technically, and I recognize this beast, Grond, actually from that epic battle rather than from this quest. Here he is. That's the guy who I thought showed up in the epic battle, but does not. Apparently you can hide your UI. Okay, I was going to say I don't hear, if this was voice acted or anything, I don't actually hear that. I'm just waiting for him to get closer for better screenshots. I feel like one problem when I put enemies like this in screenshots, they're often just standing there, which is relatively boring. Usually I try to put something in action. Gandalf has like an iconic pose, I guess, with his staff just holding it, that I don't feel the need for him to do much help. He even in the epic battle puts like his hand out. So that's at least something, but a lot of the enemies, they will just stand there. At least this guy, Gothmog, is doing something. He really is having a long speech. It's hard with the UI hidden for me to pay attention, because usually I actually like to read it on the bottom left, so I am not knowing what is going on. He is Gothmog the Dreadterror. I believe we will be visiting his throne soon, which there will be many enemies, including Mumakil. Oh, I can actually pull him? It said I will be teleported out of the instance, but they actually would have let me fight him. I thought he only had like 150 something thousand health, if I remember correctly. It's something I complain about probably too much, but I really wish they would. If they actually let you fight those enemies, like right there, then you could just take care of the problem and be done with it, especially how little health he had. Okay, so the actual bracelet that I want, the good news is the other bracelet I have I do want to replace, not the Arnorian one, but the other one I have, Skill Defiance. I believe those are my options, like get either Vitality version or plain main stat version. So main stats are relatively inefficient in LOTRO, so getting 200 agility versus 267 vitality, I feel like I could get more out of the 267 vitality. And making up for that agility loss, for example, with essences, would be a lot easier than making up for the vitality loss using the agility piece. So that is my thoughts on why the vitality one was initially seemed more appealing, and I definitely do think that is the case upon further review. So I will get the vitality one, even though it sounds like a tanky one. So Wizco, you said you're tired of asking me questions and why I don't ask the entire chat questions. I did not know that was a thing I was supposed to do. I don't know if it actually is something I'm supposed to do, but I don't know what sort of questions to ask. What I do know is I need to mute so I can turn on my light here. Sometimes I actually do ask questions, like for the thumbnails, when I switch to my new stream thumbnail format with the red border and the little red circle at the bottom left that is like a little live button indicator looking thing. I think I did ask about that. But yeah, usually it is more feedback related questions that I would tend to ask that I know of. If I actually could set up polls, I don't think on YouTube, I don't even know if you can on Twitch, for example, but I don't think you can do polls on YouTube. Sometimes I would ask like, so an example of a type of question I could ask is, if I got to a breakpoint in a stream, is if you all wanted me to go to location A or location B, like vote on that. And I feel like it'd be easier for people to vote than actually type out But yeah, I'll go ahead and look at this, I think. So for the bracelet, looking to replace, okay, the critical rating one and finesse one. So the gear I currently have equipped, I think, is my tanky gear, if I remember correctly. And that is the case, so I'll put on my DPS-y gear, which I should have had on this whole time, to be honest. I think I have a couple more pieces of the cloak. Then maybe some pants. Yeah, oddly enough, these pants are actually DPS ones. I need to replace, like, the high priority thing for me to replace is actually my pants, I believe. They're purple, but the itemization on them is actually decent. I think it's why I haven't replaced them. And Rohan, thank you for joining the stream. Glad you thought it was an awesome stream, as usual. It's felt pretty awesome so far, at least. But for this new bracelet, I have to look at my stats. That is the first thing. So crit rating, probably don't need. I'm near the cap on that, so probably getting diminishing returns. Physical mastery, I might be near the cap on that as well. We might just be stacking it with vitality. And if I were to stack it with vitality, maybe that would give me actual reason to, for example, replace the pants here with more vitality, morale efficient ones, and then put physical mastery on this as an alternative to that. Maybe like 2 physical mastery. I would also lose a little bit of finesse, so maybe I could put a finesse and then 2 physical mastery on this, and then equip these pants instead. That'd be fairly decent, I think, of a setup. Probably not the most efficient, but it's something I could do. Also a consideration is equipping these gloves and getting my vitality up a little bit. I would lose physical mastery, but I'd get finesse. That would basically mean I could skip a finesse essence and instead use a 3rd physical mastery essence. And this would be better with that, because I'd get critical rating and a little bit more physical mastery. So I'll do that. And then we'll equip these pants, and then I think with that I should be set to put a few physical mastery essences in. Now I do need to be careful of reaching the stat cap. I think the best way for me to look at stats is actually with the red line. Okay, so critical rating 25.9%. Okay, so probably fairly okay on that. Physical melee, I am at 195.7, so I'm very close to the cap there. I'm probably actually, after buffs and stuff, at the cap. So like if I was in a group with a captain, for example, and had scrolls and that type of stuff, I would be at the physical mastery cap, I think, which is 205 for red line warden, I believe. There's a 5% melee. There's the 2.5% crit chance, but there's a 5% melee somewhere in there. There it is. So maybe I actually would want to go critical rating, oddly. Critical rating, I could get 1.6% more. I just know at this point you get a lot of diminishing returns, but that could be a good thing for me to have. I could get 1,000. Okay, let's do 1 critical rating. I want to see where that brings me. 25.9. I would actually lose critical rating, so that is a good thing anyway. And then 2 physical mastery for my last 2 essences, I believe. Or I could do 2 vitality, but I actually don't have physical mastery essences. I could do vitality temporarily, and then if I feel like bothering, I know I'll replace this gear actually in a couple weeks, but I still, with what I have, I like to optimize my gear, and I feel like maybe that is a little bit helpful to some people that may be watching and wondering about how you work on your gear. But this is actually the exact reason with the critical rating. Actually, I did, to step back on the critical rating, I was thinking I got 1,000 more critical rating than I used to have, which I did not, but it only gave me a 0.2% boost. What I really got was, let's actually see the number change. What I really got was about 300, maybe a little bit less critical rating, and that is what gave me 0.2% there. But anyway, we can move on. Gun drag. Which warband is that? I cannot, unfortunately the map there, when you try to zoom out, it goes all the way out. Or, yeah, it goes out of the map. But the quests I have are, it looks like repeatable quests. One of them I know I have never completed, but I feel like I am set with Osgiliath for now, and I feel like that is a good break time. Also would give me a chance to get a drink so my mouth can be a little bit less dry. So I think it will be short break time and then go to missions, and hello to Din Djarin. But yeah, short break and then we can go to missions. And maybe before I get back, somebody can answer your question on that, Tyler. I will try to remember to comment on it when I get back, but let's use, y'all get to see the beautiful sewers of Osgiliath here. Let's go to my AFK message and I'll be back. Wrong one. There we go. I shared that before, but I still haven't loaded an OBS, and this is the right one. Okay, I am back, and I'm going to take this off. So it looks like, as far as the spear or sword question, yes, that is true that some races do get a small boost with a sword, but I do prefer, as well, using a spear on my wardens, so that is what I use. The damage boost you get, I can actually show it as a racial trait, is 5%, but that is calculated before a lot of your other boosts for damage. So it is relatively small overall. But if you're trying to completely min-max, it is a little bit impactful. I think it depends on the class how much that 5% boost actually ends up being after all the calculations. Maybe something like 1 to 3%, depending on the class and your character. And if you do like swords, that is convenient because the High Elf, Elf, and Race of Man all get a boost with that. And I forgot we were going to do missions. So I need to travel to Galtrab actually for that. Hello Michael, the stream is going well so far. We just got back from break, so now my nose is itchy, as seems like my nose has to just like go totally itchy in the middle of a stream at some point. But yeah, actually for my progress today, I have gone through most of Osgiliath. I still have some repeatable quests that it looks like I have not done, might go back to those, but I have some options for after this, like missions intermission. Looks like I get new weeklies. I guess last time I did play was Wednesday before the weekly reset, so I have to look at all these missions again. I have a lot of quest slots, so we will see what I have for those. So didn't you port a lot of crit rating into your Redline Warden, so it's mostly a nostalgic thing? Oh, for them 5% melee damage. I think I tried to check all these as I accepted them, and I don't think I saw any that I have not completed, but I will run through them again just to double check. I have to check through all these missions to see if there are any I have not done yet. Okay, these... I think I keep skipping some, but it looks like I have done all these missions before. The main reason I want to do one I have not done before is because of the deed to do 80 of the War of Three Peaks missions, so I still need 26 of those, but all the ones I have in my quest log I have done. I don't know how many missions I have to have quite a few in there. I don't know if I have enough to do like a full 45 set for the weekly. Maybe I could try if I can play enough of this Warden. I think I switched my specs to the red line, want to go back to yellow. Probably chose a bad mission. To recover 12 supplies, that is probably going to be a relatively slower one. Oh, and we're getting meaty. Did that say meaty rat? That is a meaty rat. That is gross. Meaty rat and mountain bats for this mission. It oddly flows though, meaty rats and mountain bats. They might not seem like two things that would go together in an environment or whatever, but it somehow works for me. So actually, since Wizco brought this up earlier, if you all want to let me know what you want to see for the rest of the stream, this character, what I can do is pretty open as far as Eastern Gondor questing. I could either continue Osgiliath, continue doing the repeatable quest there, or I could do missions. If I was able to do a poll, maybe I'll look to see, there could be bots that actually do polls, so people could actually vote on it, but could do, yeah, Osgiliath missions, or I could go back to Eastern Gondor, the zones before South of Ilion that I kind of skipped over and just did the book quest there. I believe those are the main options that I would really have. The other options would be deeding, but I want to save specific deeding until the Virtue XP weekend coming up in 2 weeks. So if anyone has a preference for those three things that they'd like to see, you all can let me know. See, I'm looking for supplies. Oh, there are a bunch of supplies up there that I did not get. Wow, this place is really nice. After being in Gondor so long, that's one thing I like about the missions. It's nice and bright and colorful. I know in this specific area, the Misty area actually, with the Wells of Langflood and Gundabad, it is often cloudy, but I could do straw poll. I guess I can make a straw poll and post that in chat for people that do want to fill it out. Is there a bot? That's actually one of the suggestions that came up, was a bot. Wonder if there is a straw poll bot. Alright, we will take a small break from this. Let's see what that is. Okay, do not see any. I feel like I'm on the wrong straw poll. There's a strawpoll.com and a strawpoll.me. Let's see if one of them looks more familiar. Oh, under the community YouTube tab, I have done a poll there, but for specifically during live streams for like viewers to fill the polls in. I could do one on the community tab on my page, I guess, but usually I do those for non-stream specific things. I guess I could try it for specifically during a stream, but I'd have to look into that if I could somehow close the poll. Like shortly after, I guess, I asked the question. And it also, just a little bit of, I guess, annoyance there, is I would be directing the viewers away from the stream and having to have them go out of their way and not just stay on the stream page for that, which I don't feel like is ideal, at least. See, I need the supplies, I need to go around. Also, my outfit, it kind of blends in a little bit with Osgiliath Gondor in general, the red, but it's something that stands out a little bit more here. I get some contrast with the environment. I don't know if it's a bad or a good thing, just a little bit different look with the outfit, especially this. I haven't worn an outfit, as I mentioned, like this basically ever in LOTRO. This is one of the more unique outfits, oddly enough, for my that I've ever used, so it's something I have to get used to. I feel very weird drinking out of a jar of milk, but I have oddly found it a very convenient container for milk to drink out of. So that is what is going on with my drink here. Okay, let's try to do a more efficient mission. Goblins for Gorgar, that one sounds like an easy mission. Yeah, defeat Duffnazd, rather. Oh, this one should still be easy, but they have the sapper guys and the, I'm like, what is it called? I forget what it's called every time you're, oh, powder burns. There's something, I can't quite think of what it's called, but you're vulnerable to the sappers and the fire. Maybe it's not specifically in this mission, but in Sundergrot, in general, the actual zone, and it is a feature of the missions here, that is something that goes on. This mission's also nice because the dwarf actually comes to where the boss is, so I can just talk to him and leave. It's actually a mission if you don't have the AoE and you can survive it, you could just run to the boss and single target him, then talk to the dwarf NPC that comes there, I guess it's Horan, and leave, or the dwarf scout that comes there, rather. Okay, so that was Goblins of Gorgar. Worm Hatchery. I forget if that one you actually need to click the eggs or not. Son of the Chieftain, that sounds fast. Sounds like I just need to kill one thing. Oh, this is, yeah, the Son of the Chieftain is actually son of the warg from Amdan Damal. One defiler. Well, it is just a warg. This is, so it's a relatively fast mission, but at the same time, for a fast mission where you just need to kill a single boss, it's also a relatively slow one, just because you have to do all this travel time. But it does feel hard to complain about a mission that's this easy to do, where you just have to kill the boss and then you are done. I really am, I've said this a few times, but I really am glad that missions feel more rewarding, because this is a fun type of content to do, especially when you have a bunch of missions banked up at the same time. So I have all these missions that I could actually do, but actually having good rewards from like the weeklies and such, I feel like it's a lot better than how it used to feel. Jaws of the Dead, I think this is a relatively quick one. Actually, this is Jaws of the Dead, not Halls of the Dead. Oh, this one's the Grizzly Trophies. This is... anything where you have to interact with items are usually the slower missions, at least for War of Three Peaks. I know the Wildwood missions are relatively slower, so I'm fine with like interacting with things or whatever, but because of War of Three Peaks missions and because I've done all these before, I typically like to pick the quicker ones or more kind of mindless ones, I guess, in a way. This one, don't really have to think too much about it, just kill things, but that is how I feel with the War of Three Peaks missions when I want to do them. I still think with all that, I still think there's something good as far as the gameplay, splitting things up and having sort of an intermission from like questing in Osgiliath as I was doing, for example, or whatever it may be that I'm doing. I also realized I have my little Illumin town missing, which is not good. This guy's supposed to travel with me everywhere since I got him. I've never been so attached to a cosmetic pet before till I got this hound. It's going to be very hard if I ever get something different to actually replace that thing. I know on Louisden I have like cosmetic pets that I like and a few different options actually on him, but this character, I am too attached to that little hound. Oh, using defensive strike, that is not good. That is one thing with the Warden. If you, I guess, are maybe a new Warden or whatever, or just aren't familiar with the gambits, I feel like the gameplay could actually be very slow if you're not using the good gambits on them. If you like use defensive strike, something like Boar's Rush and combination strike, that type of stuff a lot. Oh, we already got the mission done. I thought I needed to destroy a lot more Grizzly trophies, but I guess I got them. Mission reward, I don't even know why I bother looting this, I guess for the little bit of silver. And speaking of silver, that was one thing I was keeping a little bit of track of, was my gold that I have been getting on my character from all this, and from the time in Osgiliath, and it has been relatively decent. Son of Chieftain, I actually have to turn that in. So I got my daily as far as missions done. It doesn't seem like anybody in chat had a preference for whatever content I continue with today. The main thing with the missions is I was hoping to get some repeatables that I have not done. There's probably a certain day, at least for this character, of missions that I have not done that I will have to pay attention to, hopefully try to come upon in the future. It would be very convenient if I could line this deed up. This deed to do the 80 War of Three Peaks missions gives 10,000 Virtue XP. So if I could line this one up for 2 weekends from now with the plus 20% Virtue XP weekend, that would be ideal, because then I'd get 2,000 extra Virtue XP just from that. I also get a cloak. I don't know how I feel about that cloak. I've kind of oddly strayed away from cloaks and used different type of back cosmetics like backpacks or quivers on the hunter, or of course a warden's pack on the warden. I've also seen, it's kind of odd, I think I've seen at least one hunter. I feel like I've seen 2 hunters actually with the warden's pack, which is weird to me. Chieftain's pack. Oh no, I'll do a few more missions to get a little bit more of a break. Oh, we're right back here this time. Instead of defeating the son of the chieftain, we need to defeat just some of the wargs here. Looks like we're getting more defilers. Looks like I have been going with the stream about 2 hours. Trying to think what all I would want to invest my time in. There are a lot of possibilities, a lot of different things I could do in Gondor. I could continue the Eastern Gondor stuff, but I have finished most of that. Right now it's mainly repeatable type quests, which I could do again. I don't know if they would unlock anything interesting though, is the main motivation to not do them actually. Normally I don't look for things to motivate me to not do things, but that is the case with the Osgiliath quest. So I'm thinking either way, whatever I do, maybe go back to not South Athelion. the other zones before South Ithilien and Gondor and check out what sort of things they have to offer. Southern Ithilien in general has been a very fun zone. Oh, so Andrew, the rotation of the missions is on the wiki, so I could check what day I'm missing. Okay, when those are happening, that is actually a good idea. Let me go ahead and do that. LOTRO wiki for Peaks missions. Let's see what that brings up. Okay, so it says like tomorrow, 22. Okay, 2 days from now. So tomorrow is the 3 Wardens, Nests of Ice. I think the 3 Wardens is one. I wonder if I already have that. I have Nests of Ice. I have the 3 Wardens, so tomorrow is not going to be a day I need. How about Burrowers? I feel like 2 days from now, Sunday, would be a good one for this character. So Dinjarin, you're in Barhurin, and you love that area. Yeah, South Ithilien. The whole zone of South Ithilien was fun for me. Actually, I do take one thing back. The stuff in Barhurin, there was a little bit of annoying stuff there just because the rangers were being annoying was the main thing there. But I think we'll set the missions aside for now. And I'll get that weekly done. I think it really depends on how I divide my playtime though in the next week or so. I would like to actually get the 45 mission weekly done this week. It's not the biggest deal, but considering all the missions I have, maybe I'll do the Beast of Mist Hollow. This one usually has a lot of loading, but can do that. Normally when I am streaming, I like to drink out of straws. Probably could have gotten one just for this, but it is a lot easier to drink from and I think a lot less noisy. At least for me, as I am streaming, I feel like any sort of noises I make with my mouth are annoying. Okay, so I believe the boss, the Fraunath rather, that I need to defeat here is somewhere over on this side. I saw something roaming around behind that rock. I don't know if that actually is the boss, but it seemed like it could have been. There's an Anduin hunter. There it is. This guy almost has as much health as the elites in Osgiliath. Oh, I guess I could have talked to him and traveled, but this is okay. I also feel like one thing with missions is doing a whole bunch of them. Chieftain's Pack, I need to turn that in. But doing a whole bunch of them, let's see what Worm Hatchery is. I just need to remind myself that this is click the eggs one. Yeah, this is destroy the worm eggs. But doing a few at a time, I don't feel as bad. Doing a couple at a time, I feel like is actually usually an inconvenience to travel all this way to Inat Curfew just to do like 1 or 2. We'd want to do at least 3 for the daily always as well. But doing maybe even 10 or 20 missions at once, that could actually be a little bit too much, unless I'm oddly in the mood for that. Which right now, it doesn't sound too bad actually doing that many missions, so I'll just continue for a little bit. I know you can also run into the instance cap fairly quickly with these because you can do 10 instances per hour. And basically after 10 missions, that would probably take about that much time. Even with the Wildwood, those missions took... To do all 10 of those, when I was going a little bit more, I guess, efficiently with those, knowing how they worked, did those in maybe 45-ish minutes, if I remember correctly. So yeah, after I clear everything out with the Warden, it's pretty much just, it's very simple of course, but just clicking these 10 worm eggs, destroy them. Kind of has a nice flow and an odd flow at the same time to me, that I clear out all the enemies and then I'm interacting with all the quest items at once. Usually that is my preference in landscape, and I feel like it's pretty time efficient with the Warden since you can just round things up and AoE them and all that, but then go ahead and leave. But then it's just like this oddness of destroying all the worm eggs, for example, in this mission. Also, one thing that would be nice, I think at higher level, this is actually something I would get, but deed progress, Slayer deed progress, that would be something that's nice. I know in the Wildwood missions, of course, you do get Slayer deed progress. What was that one? That was the Worm Hatchery. Good reminder of exactly what that was. This device, reclaiming the Veil Watch. Let's look at the other person, see if they have anything interesting going on. Dour Hands in the Deep, that sounds like just killing Dour Hands to me. Oh, this is in the Glimmer Deep, that's right. This one's relatively large number of things you have to kill for a War of Three Peaks mission. I think it's one of the more fun missions. You have to go throughout the Glimmer Deep area a little bit, but on the Warden, it really is just running through using Range Resounding Challenge and maybe a couple other things every once in a while. Oh, I feel like that was some sort of pro-looking move, where I was falling off the thing backwards and using Range Resounding Challenge. I'm also thinking this character's progress in general. Again, going back to Eastern Gondor, going back to the zones before South Athelion, I feel like would be just about the only thing I actually have to do in the Gondor zones that we have unlocked on the server. So it'd probably be good for me to do. I think I have completed, as far as like quest deeds go and all that sort of stuff, I think I have completed what would be everything but those. And that would help whenever my Gondor deed date comes in the future, that would help with that. Here I need 2 more blasters. I'm in combat with something, I don't even know what. Is that a blaster? That is. Yeah, I don't know what I'm in combat with. It looks like there is a dwarf Dour Hand here who is chasing me. He has very low health. But yeah, although doing the missions lets me think about this character and of course the progress I need to do. Also, I wonder if it'd be possible, let's see, if I tried to ideally somehow line up all 26 missions for 2 weekends from now. Not necessarily all of them at once, but get like one more mission or whatever. Just for example, like complete one mission that weekend, and it's one that specifically is for this. Veil Watch Rescue, I think that is one of the ones that's coming in 2 days from now, if I remember correctly. No, that is actually not 2 days from now. That is... yeah, not 2 days from now. I don't know when that is. think there are 10 different days. So Veil Watch Rescue. Actually, reclaiming the Torrent Spires. I don't think the missions it has listed today, I believe, are the ones that oh, today. Yeah, actually, I did need to refresh that. Okay, that makes more sense with the timing there. But either way, 2 days from now, which would be Sunday. Actually, tomorrow. Yeah, it has it tomorrow now. That looks better. Relics of the Golden Cliff. Yeah, tomorrow might have some that I have not done on this character, but I'll have to look at all that. Okay, so I did Dour Hands in the Deep. Okay, maybe I'll do the 3 Wardens. This is a fun mission, and this will be the last one I'll do, and then go back to Eastern Gondor, maybe. We can return 2 missions, but I am actually getting tired, so could be wrapping up with the stream relatively early. It's actually not even 9 o'clock, wow. Feels later than that to me. But it has been, as I shared in the last stream, a long week, and since it's been 2 days after that, been an even longer week, so might be wrapping up early today as far as the stream goes. But at least I do want to check out the other Eastern Gondor zones and see what sort of deeds there are. I guess I could look at the LOTRO wiki, of course, for the deeds, but I'd rather explore it in person or in character in the game. Well, I somehow did not pull that many things. Usually I pull a ton of things going up here, but it was not the case this time. But yeah, with the missions, tomorrow's stream, I guess I can go ahead and say what it was. I was kind of keeping it as a little bit of a surprise, but when I schedule the stream, you'll get to see what it is anyway. But tomorrow I'm going to be bringing back the Lore Master. We're having our lobby group do some leveling because there's a bonus XP weekend going on, which I'm taking 0 advantage of right now on a level cap character. There's the 3 Wardens. But that is coming tomorrow. We're going to be leveling them up, so moving past Moria, we might go back and do Moria content later. But we will see. I don't know exactly what we're going to do. There's a lot of possibilities for different things we could do with the group to try to get XP, whether it's just like landscape questing, which I'd be honestly less excited about. But if it is group content, I might actually be doing my Beorning. Either way, tomorrow is probably going to end up being a variety stream at the very least. So let me see where I want to go before I get talking too much. Yeah, let me go to Minas Tirith actually. Not after battle, before battle Minas Tirith. Now that we're mustering in a good location. Tomorrow at the very least is going to be a variety stream, so I might be able to fit in the missions on the Warden during that as an idea I have. Especially because the way things are scheduled tomorrow, if I actually do start a stream like in the afternoon my time, the event we have scheduled is not till 7 p.m, which maybe doing server time is something people are more familiar with. Why is I think I have, okay, filter map notes, none of them is selected. That's why the map looks so naked there. Which also looks neat without everything actually selected. A lot less busy, you get to see what's going on a little bit more. You don't get to see as much of what there is, what the town offers and where it is, but it does look kind of nice without things checked.
These are troublesome times indeed.
I actually don't even have this place explored. Upper Lebanon, Barhiran, Farmir's Outlook, Arnak. I actually should have a muster in Arnak. That is something I should have just used. I want to save that 91 silver, 50 copper. But yeah, just working on the Warden missions tomorrow I think could be good, especially if there is just free time. I don't know if I would count it as a Warden's Gondor stream because I'm not sure I would go to Gondor, but a thing I could actually do is work on some deed progress. Not necessarily finish deeds again, but work on deed progress tomorrow. But the main event for tomorrow will be leveling my Lore Master. Actually, that's probably not the main event. It is a big event. It's a variety. There's going to be variety, so I don't even know if there is a main event, but one of the main events. It's probably the best way to put that. Anyway, that will be leveling my Lore Master, who is 50-something in Moria. And that Lore Master is significant bringing him back because that was the... Oh, I should have got to my subscriber town services, but I don't even know if I'll be playing long enough for that to matter. Also, I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just running around doing nothing. Lock those 2 pieces of gear just in case. I want to find some quests. Upper Lebanon might be the place to start with that. I want to find some landscape zone quests, and I honestly don't know where to go for that, since I've already run through so scattered about these areas. I assume there are zone quests in these areas, but I do not have them if there are, or at least I'm not working on them. If they are, maybe I do actually have them. I just have south of the lane. Okay, this guy has some quests. You usually look for a leader in a town or something like that. Captain of the guard. They'll help you out and give you some quests. Oh, here's a bunch of quests. The exact type of stuff that I was almost hoping from a zone like this. We'll see. We'll see how his quests are. Looks like they're scattered about in the southeast. Then the other NPC I need is north. But yeah, I'll do the leveling my Lore Master. Going to try to get him to 60-ish. It doesn't matter exactly where I get him, just high enough to start Anadwaith and Mirkwood stuff and be relatively on level depending exactly what the lobby group, what we decide to do for our progression lobby group. I have quite a few quests scattered about. I have 6 total quests, I think. Dagor gave 3, Indir gave 3. One of the quests is right here, whatever the white one is, close their eyes. That is defeat Haradrims near the farms, okay, and hide the seed stores. Maybe the seed stores are down there as well. Yeah, I actually need to go out. There we go, get off the horse steed. So I'm guessing this is a seed store, green store. I have to hide it. That's a long animation. I have to do this 6 times. What am I doing to hide this? I'm actually interested in what the grain store will look like just because of that long induction. Okay, so put a stack of hay over it, basically. Pile of hay might be a better thing to call that. Otherwise, Haradrim. Fortunately, they are Haradrim Raiders and not Haradrim Riders. There's a dog. Wonder how this dog compares to my ill-omened hound. It's a little bit bigger than my ill-omened hound. It was also a little bit less evil looking, I would say. Let's see, hard to get a screenshot specifically of the dog, but I still want one of it. My ill-omened hound, by contrast, is a little bit more evil looking in the face. Oh, I think I pressed X on accident. But yeah, with the Raja, unfortunately they are raiders and not riders. I don't know if I got that full point across. Also, as far as regular videos go, since I'm talking about the future, I have one that I just need to edit. That'll probably be saved for... I might not do that Monday. I might try that a different day than Monday and actually stream on Monday. It wouldn't be too much of a problem to have like a video and stream the same day. But I would, if possible, rather spread my content out a little bit. And have like a video on a day that I don't plan to stream, for example. And I don't know necessarily that I can't stream like Tuesday if I were to have the video Tuesday, but that's something I'll have to look at. So basically, I would say be on the lookout for I think I mentioned it would be a hunter leveling related video. early next week, and then some other videos I might work on for later in the week. And I think 2 weeks from now, there should be some LOTRO news videos coming out, at least one LOTRO news video, and something exciting for me to try and review with the... Oh, they changed the name of this so many times in the previews that they have given. I think whatever they called it in the producer's letter is probably what's going to stick, but like Untold Continued Stories, Untold Tales, it's the story-based mission content. I don't know how much content there will actually be with that, but don't know if that's just lag or was extra long with the ending animation there. This is a kind of relaxing quest. Like, sometimes this type of quest would bother me and I feel like I'd get super slow progress in the zone. I almost feel like one benefit of, or one, it is a benefit, but thinking more so the downside of when you're seeking the destination rather than enjoying this journey, this is the type of quest that would probably be annoying for somebody that just wants whatever reward they get that this quest contributes towards. But for me right now, I am oddly enjoying the journey in Gondor, which is a little bit unusual. I feel like even the time in general that I've spent so far in Gondor has mostly been looking for the getting completed with it, basically. But it has over time been enjoyable. But I have actually felt like I've been a little bit too much so interested in the reward and actually getting completed rather than focusing on the experience, I guess, a little bit. Partially, actually, just because I was making so much progress, it was so nice to make all the progress in Gondor, which is unusual for me. But what was I honestly don't even know what I was going on about. That is why I am thinking this stream will probably need to be wrapped up somewhat soon, because I am just getting tired where I forget my train of thought halfway through the sentence / paragraph, whatever I was going on about there. Oh yeah, that type of quest, so that was a very nice quest for me to do there. It was kind of relaxingly slow and not too many Haradrim, enough for the quest. Got the grains, and while it was a slow quest to complete, I guess overall, it was a relaxing quest actually. I feel like those quests, even if you are just wanting to get through content or whatever, they can be a nice breakup of more hectic content, but that was nice right there. Now this camp, I see so many red dots on the minimap, I might have to be a little bit careful. At the very least, I want to put Never Surrender up. Ideally, I hit everything with Ranger Sounding Challenge. That is even more important than using like a heal. I probably will need to use a potion, but as usual, if I really don't need to use a potion, then ideally, I would just avoid that. What do I need to do here? I'm killing a lot of enemies, of course. I'm getting, I guess, is this Haradrim? I've probably completed that Slayer deed at this point. In fact, that makes me want to look at my wit, and my wit is getting quite a bit up there. I think my wit, since I started Gondor, at least it's doubled up the amount of finesse, I guess stats in total that it's given me. I actually remember to use one of my battle potions. I know I used one on accident earlier. Let's use a actual healing potion. Unfortunately, I did have to use one. I was down when we were down on this few mobs, but I actually did get a benefit. These are the type of potions, the ones, the debuff removers, are the ones I have a lot of trouble using, and I know these ones in particular are very overpowered when you actually do use them, because it cures 3 things, which is a lot, but that is something that I am very stingy about using. So it is nice every once in a while for me to actually do that and use that, even though using the potion I actually did not really need to use it there, ultimately. Alright, what else do I need to do here? Defeat Haradrim captains? I'm guessing I could do that. There's probably like 3 camps, I guess, spread throughout that I could do that at. Haradrim devoted, I need to kill 1 more. I don't know if there are like backpacks and those type of things scattered about, but I don't know if there are... Oh, even the sleeping ones, they just popped up. I guess these guys are a little bit more alert than some other enemies you run across. thought I was facing the target. That was a little bit odd. It even said that twice. I don't know exactly what that was all about. But quest items, let's see, it looks like cover their ears. That would be war horns. I do want to make sure quest items like that could be limited. I don't know if they are limited in supplies and they're only like exactly 4 war horns that I need to sabotage, but that is the type of quest that was staying around here for, and completing the other quests actually helped me with looking at that on the map to check. These guys can pack a little bit of punch with their damage, even without the debuffs. My morale's going down a little bit. I don't know if it's the sorcerer that's helping cause that, or if there's any particular one that is responsible for a big jump I saw go down on my morale, but they can dish out some damage at least. I feel like it's been a long while since I've been on the worst deed. Maybe it hasn't, but I think in a lot of Osgiliath I never actually got on my mount. Even today I don't remember going on my mount much. It's where I actually paid attention to like having my skills and using shift 1 for the run speed boost. Now this quest that I have here, this is Seal Their Lips. It is in the green here. Oh, there's a treasure cache as a random thing. But there should be some message ribbons. And it even has, as far as the tracker goes, it has it in this area. Which seems a little bit odd to me. That's why I thought I could check here, but there's a tater. There's a strange ribbon, okay. That is the usefulness of floating names as well. I know I could eventually maybe targeted it, but this is also the pretty nice place that you see in the Bee's Big Business, I believe, is around this area. If I remember correctly, that is on this side and not the South Athelian side. Okay, it looks like we're going to another camp, and this one will not actually have the ribbons. I guess that's spread throughout the forest. They're the enemies I need to actually target, and the war horns should hopefully get a couple of those and maybe a Haradrim captain while here. Actually, I think that is the Haradrim captain, and I'm probably running into the situation where I need to make sure I'm removing my debuffs, and that is not happening because I am stunned. And I got a potion off. That is the big thing. As long as I now have resounding challenge on all the enemies, they should be dying. Also do have my morale tab, so any that don't die, it will be healing me from that. Okay, Warhorn. Yeah, we got basically everything I needed there as far as the enemies, I think. Just the captain. Clear out where I can get the Warhorn. Everything else is just for AoE Warden fun. So the things that give 160 silver that I keep talking about but never actually show up, they actually have been showing up, but I think it's the chests that give that amount of money, roughly like 160 silver. So when I was talking about that, like maybe signatures dropping that, I think it was actually all the different chests, those type of treasures that I could loot, is where that came from. Speaking of gold, once again, I'm up to 428, so it really does. I know this character I've accumulated a lot just from playing in Gondor, but actually tracking it a little bit throughout a stream. I don't remember actually exactly what I started at. It could have been the low 400 area, but it is neat kind of tracking that throughout the stream again, just to give me an idea how much I get from doing specifically what. And I know in Osgiliath there's some stuff I could go back there for, which, by the way, I should one of the big things I was actually hoping, while the quests I have been doing are fun, one of the things I wanted to check was actually, if we go to Eastern Gondor, I should be getting, I believe, what would be a new, Quest of Eastern Gondor, Quest of Larsenak, Lossarnak, yeah. I have no idea what I called it the first time. For some reason I thought I said the wrong name, but Lossarnak. I think I've always called this place Lossarnak instead of Lossarnak, and that is why it is totally tripping me up. It's Lossarnak and not Lossarnak. So if I have been calling it that the wrong name the whole time, and not actually noticing that it is not Lossarnak, I am sorry about that. I usually do try to pronounce things correctly. I know there are a lot of things as far as LOTRO goes in general that I used to mispronounce, like zone names. For example, Forkel used to call that Forshell. Eregion, I have called that a few different things in the past. The first one was Iragoin, because I did not realize the I came before the O in the name of that. And there was also Eregion after that, but it's actually Eregion, I believe. Okay, so I should be able to get a lot of these ribbons. I want to check those two things to the southwest. I know it's just captains that could be there. Also, I do want to make sure, I know I have a lot of quests, so I want to make sure that I actually have done them. Oh, it looks like I have two. The Haradrim boats, I do actually need another quest. That's why it's good to check that, blow to the head. Let's actually untrack the completed ones, and that should be good. Okay, so we want more ribbons. There's a strange ribbon. I should get a bunch of ribbons to the southwest, but yeah, that was good that I actually remembered to track I knew there was one quest that wasn't tracking the whole time, and that's actually locating the Haradrim boats there. I think I just passed a strange ribbon. There it is. Also, I believe it is time to manage my inventory and sell. I'm going to unlock both of these essences. I don't need those. Oh, I have a purple incoming healing anyway. I really shouldn't need a level 100 physical mitigation essence, so we'll get rid of that. Anything to help with inventory space. I will buy back that heritage. Although anything, actually with the heritage, anything under like 2,000, I don't feel like is worth keeping. Like all those 3,000 and under ones, I actually do feel like I could get more, just a couple of silvers. I somehow feel like that's more beneficial than using those for the actual item XP at this point, at least. Now for my low level characters, the couple thousand item XP could actually be more helpful, but that requires a lot of effort. Not even too much effort, but more effort than I want to put into for my low level characters who can still relatively get item XP, like a few thousand item XP with no problem, I think. It's just, it would be more impactful for them, I guess. There's also a random quest on the road here from Annabin.
What strange darkness covers the sky?
Collect potato sacks. Scattered and shaken. This quest is just in this area. There's a bunch of potato sacks. That is one of the most random quests I have seen in LOTRO. Especially for Gondor. I feel like this is a region where it's mostly linear and these type of random things just don't really exist. Maybe this is an NPC I would come upon later, or maybe it is just a super random quest. Either way, I like this quest. It's kind of nice. It only has me get there like quite a few more sacks of potatoes. I only have to get a few of them as well. But as far as what I remember of quests in LOTRO, this is like one of the most random things. Maybe as you're like, the idea is you're traveling from Upper Lebanon to Arnak.
We woke this morning to no sound.
Maybe that's what it's about, but like that's when you would be supposed to discover it. But as long as it is not connected to anything, as in you need to do it to progress in the zone, I feel like it's a very nice quest. Okay, defeat Haradrim captains, tear down the ribbons. There should be, yep, there's one ribbon, and that'll be the last one I need for that. Wonder all these different enemies. I know I have a Beast of Eastern Gondor Slayer deed that is fairly well progressed. Of course, all these Slayer deeds, even those I don't mind doing, and whatever my deed stream will be in a couple weekends, assuming that will be a possibility, of course. Here, a swampy area. The Ria Delta. There we go, I was pressing 7, but the Steadfast was not working. Debuff remover, that is. I think it's called Steadfast. No, that is not called Steadfast. The stun remover is called Steadfast. That marksman appears to be broken. And now that marksman appears to be broken. I guess there's the zone. Here I'm in the Upper Lebanon, so if I go to the Losarnak, then they would like get their confusion thingy. Anti-exploit mode, I believe is what it's more properly called. But yeah, for the cut from behind, I need to actually burn a bunch of boats here. Guess we can go south. The captain, I believe I got as well. Drum supplies. So yeah, supplies and boats. This is, I did not expect there to be too much in this corner, but it was just that one quest that wasn't tracking. That decided to add a few things for me to do. Oh, he just logged off. I was a little bit too slow. Somebody in the ken said goodnight, and I tried to reply, but I was just too slow. I'm guessing it was I was too slow instead of them logging off immediately after saying that situation. Mainly because I honestly, when I am questing, even not streaming sometimes, if I'm just questing, I will unintentionally ignore kin chat sometimes. And like not see when people come on or log off or say good night or something like that. Usually, I do not catch it just because I'm so immersed into the game, actually. But I think it is a little bit worse when streaming, that I tend to miss things even more frequently, I guess. Okay, need to get back to where the boats are, and I'm guessing towards the river would be the best way for that, so we'll go long, tall grass here. Here are conveniently 3 boats together, actually 4 boats together. That will finish off the quest for me, and then I'll just have to burn supplies, and there are a bunch of supplies here. There's even a captain here. I feel like this would have been one of the better places to visit. The other 2 camps, there were actually only 4 horns, I believe, so I would have needed to go through those camps anyway. Let's use Never Surrender and a potion. I tried to use both of those, but I was just too slow to click those. Unfortunately, once I saw my health going down so much, and the good news is I'm right back where I was. I know everything I need is at the southern tip there, so I might go ahead and just go back there since I know it's all clustered nicely together. But thinking towards the future, since we're almost done with these quests and I can use my muster and Arnak to travel back there, I do need to look at my deed. I actually should have gotten a new deed. We already did look at the deed. There is a quest of Lost Arnak. I'll have to get that straight. I did 1 quest here. There are 25 quests for that deed, so there's quite a bit left to do in the Lost Arnak zone. Lost Arnak, oh my. I don't know why that one is hard for me to say, Lost Arnak. I know Arnak is the name of the camp here, so it's just Lost before Arnak. But Lost Arnak is so much easier to say of a word, so hopefully I'll get that settled in the near future. But anyway, Lost Arnak seems like a relatively small zone. Maybe Harland has a bunch of quests. I don't know. Emloth Melui. Maybe that is actually Melui. Could be Melui. But yeah, this zone is actually giving me, as far as the quest deed goes, even more to do than I thought it would be. That's one thing with these zones, they just seem so small, I wasn't sure what all there could be. There might be warbands in a zone like this. I don't know that there are. Maybe they're all in Eastern Gondor. Not Eastern Gondor, Southern Ithilien. So that is something that would count for like quests, indeed. Maybe there's a lot of repeatables that I don't know about. As far as warbands go, there's actually only one that I have not done. It would be probably in Upper Lebanon if I had to guess, but I'm not sure. It could be. I think I've done all the ones in South Ithilien, so it's probably in Lost Arnak or Upper Lebanon. Which I guess I almost feel like at this point I should just go through these zones in reverse. I first did South Ithilien and then Lost Arnak, and then I'll go to Upper Lebanon next is what I'm guessing. But anyway, I can go ahead and travel back to the camp. And the warband, that was one of the points. I don't know which zone the warband is, and I'm guessing it's in Upper Lebanon. That is something I would like to avoid, actually, if possible, not do that warband, just so I can save that 2,000 virtue XP, something pretty simple to do the warband. Save that for my deed slash virtue XP day. So I have one more of them to talk to. We did all of Indir there. And Dagor should have my other 3 turn-ins, which I did complete as far as like raw quest numbers. That was a lot of quests. That was a good quest set, I think, a fun one as well. Oh, need to help them again. Oh, this one's only 1 quest. I feel like this is the type of thing, if it's actually in the camp. Okay, that is not in the camp. Seems like it could have with finding Dagor soldiers, but they're spread throughout the forested area there. This one is in the camp, so this is one I can do to send townsfolk in the keep. Well, up north, as I'm doing outright stuff. So as I mentioned earlier, I am planning tomorrow to bring my lore master back and do some quests on him. It'll be overall a variety stream. At another possibility, let's see, after the lore master, we will have the Lobi progression group, which my Baroning has been a tank of. We were going through Mori content, but we're going to raise our Lobi progression group cap to level 75 for Rise of Isengard stuff and do the scaling Mirkwood stuff on the way while leveling there. So I'm thinking about taking my lore master mainly through the quests. I mentioned my Baroning. I like my Baroning, and I really like tanking my Baroning, but leveling questing on a Baroning for me didn't sound the most exciting, even though I was excited to do like Rise of Isengard stuff, especially started under leveled, but that is probably not something that we'll do on that character. Maybe my lore master. I'll do my lore master for whatever landscape stuff we do, or at least just like as a leveling character to do kind of with that. If the group does actually quest together, that'll be with my lore master, but group content I will do my Baroning. So depending what we do as far as the instances, if we do instances, I might do that on my Baroning. Also, another possibility tomorrow, depending how things go and how early or late I start the stream, is maybe actually go on this Warden and do some missions. There are a lot of missions I want to do on my Warden, so it's something I will try to fit in, at least. And yeah, that is what is going on tomorrow. That'll probably be an afternoon stream into the evening, so a relatively longer one, depending on when I actually get it started. But for today's stream, I feel like we did a lot. I know it's just I'm getting tired relatively early for me. It's only like 9:30, and it's feeling like it's 11:30 maybe. So I do want to go ahead and get wrapped up with this stream. And in review today, we finished South Ithilien. Actually started with a quest called Into Osgiliath, not even knowing that when I titled this stream. So we went into Osgiliath, spent the first good chunk of the stream there doing fun stuff in Osgiliath. And there are a couple of repeatables. I could go back to Osgiliath if I want, but I don't have too much that I really feel the need to do there. I heard a weird noise, and I think it's these soldiers doing their training. That's what that was about. It almost sounded like a bird chirping, oddly enough. But after that, I did some missions, and then we're going backwards. I did South Ithilien, so now I'm going to do Lost Arnak, and then maybe also Upper Lebanon as far as this Warden goes in the future. But that is what we did today, and I had a lot of fun going through the content. I hope you all also enjoyed the stream, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member to support the content. And thanks for joining and chatting and watching, everyone.